Yeah, we live. We live.
Yes, indeed. Yep, we're back, America. It's us two men again. Well, start the night off with the mantras. The new epoch of the gods. And you don't need to see me. Oops. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sign Kundalini flame now whirling and ascending up our spine from our root chakra to our central heart chakra and on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Drakra, our hidden priestly grandmaster magi dragon god sign king and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god sign kings and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences and dark matter and dark energy within the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our will objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force, an active source of supernal light and supernal energy that we're now using to unlock and activating all of our higher DNA, returning it all back online within us through the black dot within our first eye, universe B. Now, increasing the vibratory rate of our entire being up higher and higher and higher, changing every atom and subatomic particle of matter within our entire beingness into a new primordial to chaos out of order being of higher manas, the master manifester of all reality and beingness, manifesting into our reality and beingness a new and greater mind connected to Atma, the Most High, while pulling in unlimited supernal light and energy from right out of Atma into our higher and lower manas and on down into our physical reality, manifesting it here as all of the substance that we need now to take total control of our reality in this matrix through the knowledge of our true higher and lower inner self as we begin to learn how to magnetically reattach all of our higher DNA back together again, empowered by the supernal light and supernal energy of Atma control through higher and lower manas. Begin to begin phasing in universe B, the world to come, while phasing out universe A, the world being and becoming destroyed now, by raising the vibratory rate higher and higher until it began awakening and igniting all of the divine sparks in this matrix one by one, all going supermental consciousness together, bypassing their humanity, completely destroying this illusionary matrix at once. Being and becoming pure supernal energy, vibrating higher and higher and higher, being and becoming more massive than the sun until we suck the entire sun and solar system into our supernal darkness and supernal light, collapsing this entire space-time continuum into our supernal energy as it continues vibrating faster and faster until it implodes and explodes, forming into universe be the world to come on a new earth expressed in its grandest grace and beauty in a universe now built on the foundation and fabric of divine peace, love, justice, harmony, and balance as all of the souls come together to celebrate the great feast and grand festival of the new epoch of the gods. Through the power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form, as we are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, ashe.
Presto Chango.
Yep, presto changeo. and oh, shucks. Okay. Yeah. Crown chakra day libations. Aim the nothingness. Ashe. Ain
Ashe.
soft. The infinite. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ain soft or the infinite light. Ashe.
Ashe.
Adam Catman. Atik Yaman. The ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days. I recamp in the big face. The primordial Christ. Ashe.
Ashe.
Atzleth. Emanations. Our supernal holy universe manifesting as our holy divine infinite magical names within us. The cosmic Christ. Ashe.
Ashe.
Doth, the great abyss of gnosis, manifesting in us as our crown of Zeramp and the small, the indwelling Christ, the black hole kingdom. Doth, Ashe.
Ashe.
Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical dark archangels and demons within us. Ashe. Yetzirah, formation, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical orders of dark angels and demons. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical earthly kingdom. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeshida, the holy divine spark, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical will. Ashe. Heya, the holy divine infinite magical life force, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical desire. Ashe. Neshama, our holy divine infinite magical heavenly soul, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical heavenly thoughts. Ashe. Ruach, our holy divine infinite soul, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical word spoken through us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Nephish, our holy divine infinite magical earthly soul, manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Ashe.
Ashe.
Kether, the supernal crown. Ashe. Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father. Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother. Ashe. Da, the great abyss of gnosis. Ashe. Ased, mercy. Ashe. Gabora, judgment. Ashe. Tiferet, beauty. Ashe. Netzik, victory. Ashe. High, glory. Ashe. Yesod, foundation. Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom. Ashe. The power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The primordial cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being. Ashe.
Ashe.
Well,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Destiny Ashe.
Ashe.
Empress Ashe.
Ashe.
Eugene Ashe.
Ashe.
Tyler Ashe.
Ashe.
Ma'at Ashe.
Ashe.
El Cristo Negro Ashe.
Ashe.
For all the gods known and unknown. Wait a minute. I forgot. The order out of chaos beings, Ashe.
Ashe.
And all the gods known and unknown, and all the goddess known and unknown. Ashe.
Ashe.
Right. What it is.
Well, still here, and still in the battle, man. It's a battle. It's life. You know, the gods cursed us from the beginning. Once we ate the fruit of life, we can eat from any tree except for one. We can eat from any tree except for one tree. Now it's the fruit of knowledge.
Yeah, before then, we was in a whole nother vibration or realm of existence because.
Well, yeah, before then we were gods of universes. We were the Adam Catman, the perfect human. But there was this other god, lesser god, that was jealous of our power and our glory and wanted to trap our spirit, an essence of our spirit in its universe, to power up its universe and to be its slave and to be ignorant of its true self.
Right. And the two movies that represent what you're talking about is Monster Inc. and the other one is The Matrix.
Mm-hmm. And probably The Dark Crystal. And there's a lot of reference to that movie. I haven't seen it. I've seen like spoilers to it.
Dark Crystal. That came out in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. But they said
I remember it too. I never really sat and watched it, but I remember it when I was seeing the commercials and stuff about it. I remember
mm-hmm.
it. That's how I know it resonates. It resonates because now it came back up, and I'm now 50 years old. It came back up, and it's like that's how the spirit works.
Yeah,
I'm saying you will have a reference point, just like earlier on, like most people had heard of Noble Drew Ali, like in their later years. I heard about Noble Drew Ali when I was young.
Yeah,
Right?
but see it becomes
It
more
didn't
relevant.
resonate. It didn't resonate with me then at all. I didn't know what the hell they was talking about then. But as soon as I
Yeah,
heard it later on, I was like, damn.
it was more relevant.
It's not only just that. It's like an energy synchronicity thing, a spiritual synchronicity thing.
Okay, you can call it that too.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
but it becomes more relative to your entire being. I mean, where you're at consciously, and plus
Man,
what
put it
you're.
like this. I see like I look back on my past of my life, right? And I see, damn, this is why this happened.
Yeah.
Also, damn, I'll be looking at my shit like that. I'll be like, damn, okay, so I remember this. That's why this happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, wow, that should be crazy how that should be happening. For
Yeah.
example, this is a good example, and I notice there's patterns in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to live on 139th Street, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I live on 39th Street.
Yeah. Yeah. I discovered many patterns in my life. I just never wrote them down. And it's easy to forget certain things, but I come into realization of a lot of things that, you know, um, in situations like what you just said, like I could,
Omens,
hmm?
like omens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what an omen is?
Yes.
Right. So and that's another one too. The word omen itself I learned when I was younger, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
grasp it until I got older. I was like, damn, I've been seeing all these omens that are just signs of prophecies or just signs of potentialities because it's like your greater essence, your higher self knows where you are already at. And that's how when the Bible talks about how God knows ahead, whatever. It's true. Your spirit already knows ahead. It has foresight.
Well, it depends on which God they're talking about, because there's another God in the Bible that's dumb as all fucking outdoors. Didn't know shit.
The problem is, and that was a debate in the Council of Nicaea, right?
Yeah, it had to be.
No, not what you just said. What I'm talking about is the fact that in the Council of Nicaea, they were debating whether there was a monotheistic God or a polytheistic God.
Mm.
You get it? So basically, they were confused. The Council of Nicaea, they don't get a clue of the purpose of anthropomorphizing these deities by taking elementals, by taking certain cosmic principles and anthropomorphizing them. Why? Because you put a placeholder in your mind for that energy.
Well, I would say they probably did know. They just didn't want us to know.
No, you're right. You're right. They might have, but the whole debate itself showed that they were in ignorance of how that actual thing worked from the ancient understanding of it.
Yes. Uh-huh.
They may have knew but I couldn't. No, I'm gonna just say real. They may have been ignorant of the shit. Why? Because even back then, especially, knowledge was like scarce as fuck.
Was it? Well, it was
For the
a
general
commodity.
public, it was.
Yeah, but that
For the
doesn't
general
mean it
public, it
was
was
scarce.
scarce.
Yeah, but it's the same. Well, it was the same way today until the internet came out. But even though with the internet, it's still real knowledge is still scarce. But there's an overabundance of data and some just a bunch of shit. And
Not to cut your wisdom, but the problem is there's an over amount of information, and people don't know how to sift through all the information and compartmentalize it in a certain matrix. This is what I'm talking about, right? Look, and we don't understand key subject matters that will give us the right disciplined mindset to sift through this information in a proper way, like etymology, right?
Yes.
Etymology is key in your thought process, because if you don't understand etymology, you're being taken from the original intent of these words that we're using today. You're taken away from the ancient intent, which will put you in the right energy. It puts you in the right place. We're in the wrong place because we don't understand the true sense. Like, I talk to people about this, and they are totally oblivious to what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, we're not in the right mind because we're not in our mind. Someone gave us the mind that we have. We have someone else's mind. We don't have our mind. We're in our ancient body, but we have the mind of someone else.
But check this out, though. The dictionary, every dictionary has etymology in it.
Yes, it does.
It shows you the root of the word. Because etymology is not the meaning of a word, it's the true sense of the word. The true sense. What was the original intent? Because you got to realize language itself, how it was conveyed in the way it was first. Oh my God, that itself, the morphology of language itself is a whole big ass universe in itself. That's meaning how did language come about? How did the language that we're speaking today come about? Right? If you can understand that right now, then you understand why we're in the predicament we in. Because it starts with the language. The language is the thoughts.
Yes.
Right? And guess what? We used to embed culture in our language, right? Because we can put ourselves in the right path. Symbology. All that's language, bro. It's speaking to us.
Well, we probably had other sense of language other than audio language
We did.
or spoken language.
Symbology, all of the
Yeah.
symbols that the ancestors left for us. You know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words?
Yep.
So this is an advanced language that we're talking about when we start talking about symbolism.
Yes.
Because one symbol can it's just a triple, double, quadruple entendres.
Yeah, it has many layers of understanding and meaning. Many layers. Yeah, I see that. And it's the language that the subconscious mind speaks.
Yes, it
Simply.
does. And
Yeah.
that is the true essence of our operation. We're supposed to be operating from the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind.
Because they're gonna flip. Subconscious mind is gonna flip on the other side, and the conscious mind is gonna flip on the other side.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
means the whole world is gonna
Like
flip
the
inside
like a
out.
polar ship. And I see it though. I actually see it, right? I actually
Yeah,
see it in the behaviors of average humans all the time. Mind you,
yeah.
man, I've been a scientist for years, man, ever since I was like 13 years old, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about what I mean by I've been a scientist, right? Is I just have not just been living oblivious and stuff and just I've been actually trying to figure shit out for a long time. So I will always keep investigating stuff until I figured it out as a kid.
Yeah.
So imagine being as a kid from 13 to the age I am now, just investigating. My mind can't stop doing it now.
Mm.
I have to
Yeah.
investigate everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is
That's
this is
okay.
why this is why I can't even fall into the religious mind, the beta mind, the beta religious mind.
Yeah.
I,
Dude, my
it don't
mind
make sense to me.
my mind expands too far for that. It is expanding like a universe. I mean, it has unlimited potential, so it can't be confined with the religion. But religion is only something that comes from Yaldabus and his crew.
You know what?
What?
The spirit just gave me something
What's that?
because the new Bob Marley movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the movie, but essentially I
Mhm.
gave it a thumbs down.
Okay.
I like the movie though because I'm
Okay.
a historic buff, and anything history, I'm gonna peep it out. I want to know what the hell going. But it was
Yeah.
it's just like what they did with the Tupac movie, man. They didn't go in. See, these are supposed to be epic movies, man. Epics. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to talk about how they made fucking Jurassic Park, whatever epic movie that they made. Tupac's life is epic, man.
Yeah. Or Bob Marley. It should have been like
Bob
Alexander the
Marley's
Great.
life is epic. You
Yeah. It
can't
should
just
have.
have the movie was no longer than an hour and a half, man.
Oh, really?
Tupac's was too. And I'm like,
Really?
why did y'all see this was a money grab, man? This is our money grabs. This
Yeah.
is what this is.
That's what it
This is
is.
not venerating these spirits that came and enriched our life abundantly.
No, it's not. It's about using writing the code, writing it's capitalizing off of that.
Right. And because I looked at the movie, but it was beneficial for the spiritual evolution, though. Why? Go watch the movie. Because they went in on some stuff on that movie,
Mm-hmm.
but they did it in little increments so people won't get the if you don't watch the movie for anything else, watch it for these different scenes.
Okay.
Woo! They went in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about they let it be known. Hey,
Well,
listen,
they're going to come out with the movie that's going to give away everything this month, and that's Godzilla X Kong, the new
they already gave it away
rise.
already. They gave it away on the first one, man. I just can imagine what they about to give away on this one.
Oh,
They
this
gave it
one's
all
going to
away
be
on
a
the first
war.
one. They
Well, this
gave it
is
all
what.
the way on the first one. You gotta watch that shit again. I watched it
I
three
see what you
times.
did. But the next one is going to be an even more extensive than the first one. It's gonna be a war coming from the underworld. They're gonna have this. It's going to be another like an orangutan that control all these other apes that are
Right.
giants
This
like
is an
Kong.
esoteric movie, no doubt. It's an
Yeah.
esoteric movie. The writers who wrote
Mhm.
this damn movie know about the esoteric. They know
Yeah.
about the metaphysical. They know. Ain't no way possible you can tell me different.
Yeah. This is going to be epic. Now, this will be epic. This war will be something because it's going to include titans against titans and against humanity.
Right. Right. They said. You see
Hmm.
how they said? They said the gorillas were the guardians of Earth,
Yep.
right? And
Hmm.
the dragon was the
We're go-
guardian
No,
of
the gorillas were the guardians of the humans, and
humans. Yes.
the
Right.
dragons were the guardians of the earth.
Dragons was the guard. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dragons was the guardians of the earth, and apes were the guardians of the humans.
Hmm.
And I like I said, from my understanding of the esoteric and the occult, right?
Hmm.
The the monkeys represent the beast energy.
Hmm.
It represents the beast energy,
Hmm.
right? And the gorilla, I mean, then the gorilla, not the gorilla, but
The
the
dragon.
Godzilla, Godzilla represents
The
the
medulla. Got it.
yeah, that energy from when the serpent brain energy.
The medulla oblongata.
You know what I'm saying? That serpent brain, because once it activates that energy from the Kundalini, activate that serpent brain,
Hmm. The
you
medulla.
yeah, you go into it's like what is it called? Shift. It when they remember they was talking about how the reptilian. See, I look at everything as esoteric, bro.
Well, Bobby
Everything.
Hemmett.
Listen, you finish. I
Uh-huh.
look at everything as esoteric, bro. When they was
Yeah.
talking about lizards,
Hmm.
people, right? When you look at it esoterically, they're talking about because they're talking about shifting dimensions to where they can be a human sometimes, and then they shift and shapeshifters.
Yeah.
The whole shape shifting, they're
Hmm.
talking about multidimensional existence, right?
Well, yeah.
They
From what I
talking
understand.
about our multidimensional existence, though.
Yeah.
But we
Well.
don't understand it. We thinking through looking at cinema and movies. That's why they gave us movies, bro, because they want to give us a reference point to these concepts.
Yeah, that's what it was meant for. It's supposed to be an educating tool.
Right. They want to give us a reference point to these concepts, right? But
Hmm.
then you would have to create these reference points based on your own esoteric mindset going into these concepts and creating understanding or a fruition within, like when you become what you know, a
Yeah.
fruition within you, because we supposed to become the knowledge.
Well, they did that in church.
They do that in church.
Well, I mean, that was the education that we were supposed to be getting in cinema. They were giving us that in church, but in the
Explain that.
but we were being miseducated.
The church is part of the military.
Yeah, but their emotions are in it though. They're very emotional about it. They're very emotional about their religion and about
But
even
that's
speaking of.
this is you're right. This is because this is a programming.
Yep.
This is the programming. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to make you so sensitive that you don't even want to talk about it. It get to the point where no one even want to talk about these concepts. They don't
Right.
even want to do. They don't want to talk to me about the Bible because I know too much. Like I know too much about that Bible and how it came about and all that stuff. So it's like it kind of takes away from their mystique about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it
They
does.
want to keep the mystique of it. They want to. They don't want to. They don't want to actually become what they know.
Yeah, they want to bask in the mystery.
Right. They don't. Yeah. Right. So
Yeah.
and they,
Yeah.
they they don't understand that that's not in your best interest.
And then they put on a show for God.
Most of these people are using the concept in the way where the gods are a tool for mental alchemy. Right? Let me tell you. Let me finish. The gods are a tool for mental alchemy and spiritual evolution. Right? Let me tell you. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people say that they say that God is in control, right?
Mm-hmm.
I follow his commandments and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the same breath, they will tell God what he's gonna do in their life. Like people will say, God knows my heart. How the hell do you know what God knows? Right? Let me another thing, right? I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
based on their understanding of because I came out of that world. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going based on their understanding of this stuff, right? They will
Mm-hmm.
attribute their own understanding to God's word and then say, this is what God. No, you can't just say, what do you that would be blasphemy, wouldn't it? If you taking God's word and twisting it to fit your life, right? I'm like, and people will say stuff like, uh people will say stuff like, you don't know my relationship with God, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you read your scripture? No. No,
Yeah.
I don't read my scripture. How the hell you got a relationship and you don't even read the so-called word of the God that you say you got a relationship with?
But they're right. They do have a relationship with God. They're just not talking about. They don't know that they're not talking about the one in the Bible or the religious God.
But
But
that's
they.
listen, my whole spiel of what I just told you is the reason why I said that, what you just said. Yes, you are
Mhm.
God, motherfucker, and you're attributing fucking attributes to God, but under your understanding, that would be blasphemy. Y'all don't get that shit. How are you telling God what he gonna do? Because you
Well,
are God.
yeah. I mean, you're telling yourself what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah. See, religion won't allow you
They keep
the
that part
mental
away from you.
expansion to
Right,
even
right,
grasp
right.
that.
And that's the biggest mystery that the church is keeping from the general public is that they are God. Even though
And
the
but
scripture literally says it too. The scripture
yeah,
literally says it.
yeah, it does. It does. But if you read the Nag Hammadi library, oh my God, shit, it'll reveal too much.
This is why they left out certain books. There are plenty of books that they left out of the Bible. And this is
Yep.
what people are. This is the debates online right now with the other books that didn't make the Bible and stuff. I'm like,
But
first of
not
all,
only
first of all, how did you pick and choose certain? Now we understand it came from papyri that were found, ancient writings that they found, and they gathered it, came together with their scribes and their Pharisees and scribes, and they conned the fucking world with this shit, man.
well, actually, it was also information that they stole out of Egypt too.
This is
That they took out of the
you
libraries
said
in
that.
prison.
You just said that as if you didn't say the same thing. It's not Egypt. Messing all that whole area had ancient writings that was written in the whole how you got to go into the story of when they first came into Egypt, man.
Mm-hmm.
When they first Napoleon, that's why you gotta watch the movie Napoleon. We gotta watch this history so we can connect the dots, man.
Yeah, and not only that, but you got to read or listen to the books on ancient America by Graham Wilcox. Uh, they did the same thing here in America. They destroyed all the books, the ancient libraries over here.
Check this out. Noble Drew Ali said, "This is Northwest Africa over here, bro."
Mm.
That's what he's out. And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh my mother freaking boom!" Because what did he do? What did he do when he said that? He broke European psychology on our minds.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He was breaking that shit. Was like, "Oh no, this is Northwest Africa over here."
That makes a lot of sense because Africa was probably different than the way it looks now because Africa is continuing to break apart now.
Now check this out. When I say Africa, right?
Yeah.
You got to understand that word Africa is a Greek word.
Yeah, well, before
it's a Greek word. Yes, it's a Greek word. It's not an African word. It's not a word that's indigenous to the area that we're referring to as Africa, right? I'm going deeper into the science, bro. Is what I'm trying to tell you. So because look, this is why I think he was a prophet myself, because inadvertently people come and say stuff that takes us and shift the time space, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he said this is Northwest Africa, right?
Yes.
He knew the Pan-African thing was going, the spirit, the higher spirit. I didn't say the higher spirit that is edging us towards where we need to be going, right? Mm-hmm. It knew that at that time we were going to be high on some African shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Noble Drew Ali come and say, this is Northwest Africa. What is he talking about? Because once he said that, you start leading to the logic. You start following the logic, right? Like I said, since 13, I've been researching. I start following the logic, man. And it led me to the goddamn treaties. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Listen, the treaties are motherfucking amazing, man. Because what it did was they really was regulating global power. The Moroccan Empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
These Moroccans, modern day Moroccans, 1956, when they came online, they try to discredit us and say, y'all not Moroccans, thinking we talking about them.
Oh.
Y'all came online 1956, motherfucker. Fuck that. We're not talking about that. There was treaties between Morocco and Britain.
That's the kingdom of
before 1959. These treaties go back to the 1500s.
Yeah, see that's the treaties are under the Empire of Morocco, and 1956, 1957 is the Kingdom of Morocco.
See, we have to understand that Morocco is a continuation of our global dominance for hundreds of thousands of fucking years, man. It was a continuation of that. Why? Because why did Chancellor Williams? It was the Chancellor Williams who wrote that book. Damn, I can't think of the book. Where he talking about, was it Chancellor? I don't know, but they said the Moors are the custodians of African culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, I connect the dots on shit, man. What are they talking about? That the Moors was the continuation of Atlantis.
Now, when they say the Moors are the continuation of African culture, which Africa they're talking about? Are they still talking about Northwest Africa or Northwest
Africa?
About
when we say Africa, right? We know we're talking about a Greek word. We got a Greek word because that was a goddess in Greek, Africanus. That's a goddess.
But it was called Alcabulon and Carcass.
No, listen. when you go technical in that sense, you're going into the human. I'm going into the spirit realm right now.
Okay.
Listen, because we already know that, right? That technically, okay, we know, yeah, it wasn't indigenously the indigenous people didn't call it that. We know that.
Yeah.
But following that concept of Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get so many spiritual messages, esoteric messages that's beyond the layer. I mean, beyond the surface. It's like layered so deep, bro. Listen, yes,
Okay.
we gotta realize that when Khalid Muhammad said, "I'm a Moor," and ain't no well, Khalid Muhammad. Now we got all these people right now that say they African or they're Native American or they this and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the Moors are somewhat hated in the community now, right? And
Mm-hmm.
no one is realizing the real history right now. Is that the Moors are the continuation of a global dominance of melanated people on the planet. It's a continuation of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these people looking at it as a tribal thing. Well, tribes didn't understand international law and how in the ancient world creeds, the ancient world politics, and how it registered into this world and how we can assert that to this day. There have been people who have already asserted it. France asserted it against France. I mean, listen to what I'm saying. France asserted global Moorish Moroccan dominance over the planet, sovereign power over the planet. They asserted that on United States of America through a treaty, because France had most favored nation clause. Got to look up what most favored. I give reference to everything I'm saying. First nation, favorite nation clause was given to France in these treaties that France had with Morocco, right? I gotta start referencing the treaties too. I don't know exactly the treaty right now, but I know the history. The Morocco had treaties with France. They asserted it against 19. It was a 19. It was a case against France and United States that United States was asserting some type of authority that they really didn't have that France had because it was given to France by the Moroccan Empire.
Oh, okay. I get
So
it.
this is not the first time, mind you. Look up what's called the Moroccan Crisis 1 and 2. The Moroccan Crisis. The Moroccan Crisis is basically how France had all of this maritime power that was given to them by Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other European nations wanted that power too.
Why did Morocco give them that power?
It was through the treaties that they had. They didn't give it to them, right? They didn't give it to them. They had treaties with them. Otherwise, it would have been war. Otherwise, we would have been at war with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would have been at war. So we signed treaties because the wars were interfering with commerce.
Yeah,
right?
trade and commerce.
It was interfering with commerce. So we started treaties, and basically the treaties literally put them under our authority. Is what I'm trying to tell you. So people try to say, why did y'all sign a treaty with them? Like we friends with them. No, they're under our fucking contract. They're under our authority right now. No, it ain't no what the hell? Y'all don't get this?
Now, where was did we have a capital?
A capital? Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Mauritania, Morocco, all everyone. See, it was a global empire, bro. So it's not the same dynamics as a state, a normal state.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same dynamics, bro. It's a global. You got to understand, it's a global empire, and we see signs of this global empire based on we see goods and art, goods and certain certain things that come from one side of the Atlantis, and we have them over here, right? And vice versa. Like, for example, all of the spices around the globe are used universally. Curry,
Mm-hmm.
paprika, uh,
Mm-hmm.
salt, pepper, right?
Mm-hmm.
These
Yeah.
are part of a global trade system that was going on in the ancient world.
Okay. And spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and stuff like that.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it was a global trade system going on in the ancient world. We are going by European psychology, thinking, we just because they just became maritime civilizations.
Well, our
They just
history just
became maritime
started in
civilizations.
1490. Our history just started in the 1500s, right? We just
Who
got
hit
here
you
in the
starting the picture?
1500s.
Who hit you?
Black history.
That's a
Them
joke.
black people.
I thought, oh,
Them
that's a
black
joke.
people out there in
I-
the fields. They just got here in 1500. Singing
That's
Sweet
funny.
Road.
That's very funny
Sweet
right there. That's
Road.
very funny. I love that joke. That's a goddamn joke right there. You gotta be joking. You got to be motherfucking joking.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Because at the end of the day, listen, this history's so
Yeah.
vast, man, that they gotta appropriate it. It's so vast they gotta start appropriating it. Oh no, they wasn't the
Yeah.
Egyptians. We're the Egyptians. The
Yeah.
fuck? You see,
Yeah.
they
Well,
gotta.
yeah, I
It's
know.
so vast that they gotta start appropriating it, bro. I
They
swear.
got IA on it right now. Shit. IA gonna like these are the color of the
Listen,
shit.
the only way we're going to transcend their technocratic agenda is if we recognize who we actually are as light beings,
Mm-hmm.
not human
Mm-hmm.
beings. We're light beings.
Right. We're light beings. We're the blueprint. We're the blue we're the blueprint of something perfect. Okay, the perfect blueprint. And then when they
Right.
made us, they were copying the perfect blueprint.
And you can see it throughout history. Everybody just appropriate our culture, man. Everything,
Yep.
every other culture on the planet is just a watered down appropriation of our culture, man. Stop it,
Yeah.
man. There,
Yeah.
look. That's why I got to get that book from the brother Abdullah, where he breaks all of this stuff down, where he proves that there's only one culture on the planet. It's only one.
Mm.
It's only one,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he connects the dots to how all of it's connected to one mother culture, bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and
One
you can
more.
see it too once you start visualizing broader than just the mundane, civilized programming. Look, most people know they're under social engineering. They know it. They just allow it. They like, fuck that. I don't why what's the purpose of thinking? Where are we
But
going?
it's
Like
been
they've bought into the hopelessness that they've been fed.
well, see, it's been we were pushed here. Okay. People made us and found out that we're greater than them, and they got jealous and put us in the worst circumstances that we can be in. And it's still it's still visible today.
Right. The
And
birth
now
of which
they
must
live
be.
amongst us.
Right.
They live amongst us now as
Yeah.
these avatars for the rulers. The rulers, because they got pushed down here, they got cast down here. So now they're these spirits running these avatars, living in these avatars that are ruling over the planet. But their rule over us was only for an age, and that age is over now. And now they have to give that rulership up and let the rightful rulers take their place. But they don't want to do that. They're not going to give up easy. They're not going to give up without a fight. So now it's a fight.
They arms too short to box with the gods, though. But get your last words in, brother.
Well, it's the little gods against the higher gods. and somehow the little gods had the upper hand because the higher gods fell asleep, and now the higher gods are waking up, and they're realizing they're starting to come into their own and realize that we're greater than these little gods up there. And so, how do we turn our shit back on? How do we turn on this shit they call junk DNA? How we can bring that back online to 12, 13 strands again, so we can start implementing our real true God self. Because until we get that shit back online, we're not going to be able to do 1,000 miles an hour. We're only going to be able to do 120. So it's
word?
about, yep.
Okay. So it didn't sound like you want to say something else.
Well, it's about us figuring out how to put ourselves back together, because we've been dismembered. Osiris was dismembered into 13 pieces, and now we have to get those pieces back together. Once we bring the pieces back together, we form Voltron, and we unleash the blazing sword, and we kill the Rogues.
Right. Blazing sword.
We form Voltron. Blazing
right.
sword.
Right. That was what they put out. A motherfucking, and the blazing sword came out of the ethers. They created that shit out of the ethers and shit.
Yep.
So they just put their hands together and she came out of
came out
of nothingness, my nigga. Stop it. Yeah. That shit came out of nothingness. Don't give me no bullshit that this some technology and motherfucker. Some technology that was able to draw from the ether and create something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay? That's our power. Yeah, that's how we take back the planet. That's how we take back the whole universe again. Because the universe was ours. We ruled the universe.
Well, the thing about it is, I think we were on a high level. I can see when we reached our peak, but you got to realize that when you reach your peak, right, you inevitably fall. You inevitably
you have to fall. Start all over. Yeah. And that's the only way to perfect yourself is to fall back to your lowest level and start from there and rise back up again.
Right. But every rise, you move up a notch. Okay?
Yeah.
So every rise, you move up a notch. But my last words, man, because we got to get up out of here, is realize you are superior, not the inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm talking about, that's a mantra you need to be on. I am the superior. I am not the inferior. I am the superior. I am not the inferior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is what you gotta keep telling you. Because the inferior aspect of you has the power right now. So that's why I'm saying you not. You are, because you have an inferior aspect of yourself, because that's the duality of the universe. But the inferior aspect of you have the power right now.
Yeah.
It's ruling over you right now. It's ruling over you. So you gotta chant it back down to its place. Satan, get thee behind me. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's my last words.
Yeah. And to all pretty women.
Say it again.
Yeah, to all pretty women with a nice behind, I'm Satan, and I will get thee behind you. Hey,
we out.